Okay, so here is the final solution for the Mini Cooper R50 clutch fork rebuild. You can see down in here, I'm getting close enough, that my machinist has added some material along the back side of this fork. So the original fork, I don't know if you can see that line. Let me see if I can zoom in. Yeah, so that line right there is the original fork material. All of this around the back is added. Now, you can't go too thick here because then it fouls on the bell housing. However, what I discovered was that actually these plastic clips actually begin to foul before this does. And I have looked at this for quite a while just to make sure that all of this was bottoming out correctly, because what I didn't want was it to be holding the clutch and then riding on the surface of the throwout bearing. What I did up here at the top was I went with a metric bolt, runs through the clutch fork shaft right here. From my previous drilling, you probably have watched that video, and I've added a cotter key on this side. So what that allows me to do is in the future, if I have to take this apart again, I remove the cotter key, unscrew this. There is a little bit of a threading action on the end here because this hole is tapered. Now, one concern I do have is that there may be some rattling, because BMW calls that taper pin a rattle pin, an anti-rattle pin. If I wiggle up and down, there's ever so slight amount of wiggle that I can feel in this shaft. But I'm going to run with this, and we're going to find out how it performs long term. To me, this is a no-brainer experiment, because should this fail, I simply remove these parts that I've added and drive in the a new anti-rattle pin. That's not that big of an issue. So I think this is a good test just to see how this works out. Anyway, I will let you guys know if any of this doesn't work out. You can see one other thing before I let you go. This is the original crack in the fork where it has been welded closed. This was actually bent. My machinist straightened it out, welded that, re-welded the entire surface here, also welded closed on the ends, which are not common on these forks. So he's welded it closed on both ends, as well as along the back, and then added these gussets in along the back surface. If we do this again and we do a version 2, I may have him box in this end right here, just so the small plate maybe carried on up into here if it cracks again. Anyway, trying to pick up a winning solution here, and I'll let you guys know. Bye.